I'm Johnny Davis, and I live here in Hickman County, work for the Sheriff's Department now as an investigator. Been with the Sheriff's Department since 2004, and I see a lot of places that there could be some change made, and I'm willing to make those changes and try to improve the quality of the Sheriff's Department and get a better Sheriff's Department in Hickman County. There's not really. I mean, we got some good guys that's running for office, and but I'm one that's I'm good talking to people. I don't care to do what's right and make them do what's right. If it makes them mad, they just have to get mad, you know. I'm not looking to go in and fire everybody right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because my philosophy on that is most of the time people fire themselves, and which I know a lot of them, I understand, are dead set wanting to fire some people and stuff, but I'm not that way. I know what the Sheriff's Department's supposed to do, and I'm willing to do that, plus more if I have to by law. And like I said, I'm just out here to protect the people and make the Sheriff's Department a better department to work for. Well, I've made quite a few achievements. I just got back from sniper school here a few weeks ago, and it was a pretty tough course to pass, which I passed it. It was through Metro.
Okay.
And I've been with, like I said, been with the Sheriff's Department since 2004. I started out as a road deputy and worked midnights for 6 years, and then transitioned into investigations, which that's where I've been involved in a couple of cold cases, I call it, that's been solved here in the county. One of them was a homicide we had here that went on for like 12 years, and at the time myself and Detective Smith was working with me at the time. We were sitting in the office and found one phone number that hadn't been followed up on, and found out who it belonged to and made a phone call, and the subject was willing to cooperate with us, and he told us everything about what happened that night. And we solved the case and got got 2 convictions. Well, my first goal would be try to get our department back in order to where they would, our officers would be more professional, and try to get them where if they needed some skills in a certain area, work with them, get them sent to school, try to talk with the commission and get more money for them, possibly try to get more officers so the officers that we got can take vacations when they need to and stuff like that. It's just been an uphill battle, but it's something I'm willing to take on and work with county commission on to do that.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about that. I have talked to some of them during the campaign, and they're willing. They said they didn't care about their taxes going up as long as it went to the appropriate places, and the Sheriff's Department being one of them.
Yep.
Because they understand the crime rate rising, and they're going to need more protection. But it's just going to take some getting out, talking to them, and I know I've had some that you sit down and talk to them, and they think, wow, you know, I didn't know that. A lot of the people in the county don't understand really what's going on out here, and because they're kind of blinded to everything.
Right.
Where we're not. We deal with it every day, so we can try to explain to them and get them on board with what is going on in the world, in the county. One of the big things is, to me, is where is all of our money going to that's being spent already? And like, if, say, the county goes out here and buys a big area of land, what are you going to do with that area of land? How, you know, have some kind of plan and go ahead and do some kind of development, not wait 10 years down the line to try to build something or say we're going to build something. That's one thing I hear a lot of people talk about. Well, they're buying this, they're buying that, they're spending all this money, what are they going to do with it? And that was one of my concerns too. what are you gonna do with it? Yeah. Drug issues is a big issue also, and which I've been asked about that, and it's like I told them, Hickman County alone can't combat the drug issue. It's gonna take all counties together to combat that, because we just haven't got the manpower right now to do what some of them want to do, and it's going to take efforts from all agencies to combat the drug issue.
Yep.
I really don't know. And if you ask somebody on them, they say, "Man, I just like that high that you get." Well, you know, I've never understood it, because I guess I had never got that high because I had never wanted to use them. You know, but that's what they'll tell you. I just like that high that you get. And then once they get it that first time, apparently they can't never get it again, and that's the reason they get more and more in depth into the drug problem. They're chasing that same high, and they can't never get it. And then of course they move to something else. If they can't get their high off of one drug, they try to mix stuff, and then next thing you know, it's an overdose case. Well, they could, like you said, they'd have to put a lot of pressure on county court to give more money, give more manpower. That would be one thing they could do. Go out and get, like I say, jump on your county commissioners for, you need to do this or this to help this group out.
Yep.
That's one thing. But nowadays it seems like the general public don't want to get involved in nothing if it ain't involving them directly. That's the bad part.
Right.
But they need to start standing up more for their county. We can look into some, I guess you say, community policing, I guess you could call it. But the bad part about it is the state mandates regulations so bad on a lot of stuff that you just can't go out and get people to do stuff. You gotta look at all the mandates and regulations that the state sends down, and before you can really step up and start. And that would be something I'd have to look into when I got into that position, what I could and I couldn't do, and maybe start going out in communities and doing the neighborhood watch stuff, because it takes money to do that, and that'd be something else that county court would have to get behind you on and help you out on. I'm all for the reserve program, but you've got, one thing is getting people that you can trust to come out and ride with you. And then another thing is the regulations and all that you got to go through to let them ride.
Yeah.
That's a big issue. You just have to kind of screen them as you know, if they come in wanting on the reserve program, you'd have to, it's like a regular deputy, you'd have to kind of screen them and see what, do like background checks on them and stuff to come up with people that you could trust, because there's a lot of information that they would be accessible to that don't need to get no further than the department.
Yeah.
Unless it's amongst us deputies or whatever. But there's a lot of information there, and we've got some right now that leak out a lot of information for some reason. And that's something which I can't do nothing about it right now in my position, but if I get to be sheriff, I will work on that big time to eliminate that leakage. No, I just, I'm one that if I get to be sheriff, I wouldn't be asking my deputies to do something that I wouldn't do or hadn't done.
Yep.
And I'll be right there with them 24/7.
Yep.
If they need backup, I'll be there with them as a sheriff, or, because I get told, sir, I've been told several times I need to cut my radio off at night because I know what's going on, I guess. I don't know. But I'm one that I want to be in the mix of everything, I guess you say. And like I said, I'd be right there with them. I wouldn't ask him to do nothing I wouldn't do or hadn't done myself. And need be, I'll be right out there with them.
Yep.
And if I have to work a shift, if I have a man that's sick or something and I have to go out and work a shift to help them, I'll be willing to do that. Whether it be the midnight shift or whatever, I'll be right there with them to help them.
Yep.
Fill in the gaps. As the old saying is, adapt and overcome. And I'm willing to be that filler.